Good morning, Thomas. How are you?
Thanks, I'm fine.
Can I just start off with the injury latest? What's the physio bench looking like at the moment?
No news, which may be good news, but Trevor will be out, Ben Chilwell will be out, Reece James out. That's from the injuries, and we have one positive COVID test with Andreas Christensen, so out for the game.
I'm going to throw a lot of names at you here, so apologies in advance.
No problem.
But in terms of players out on loan at the moment, Kennedy is back.
Yeah.
Palmieri's not back yet.
No.
Will there be any need to recall Gilmore, Gallagher, Broca? And in terms of going out on loan, is there any possibility maybe that Ruben Loftus-Cheek goes on loan to get more game time?
Haven't talked about it. He has a lot of game time, I would say, if we look at the last years and look at this season. I think he has a lot of game time, and he has a lot to fight for here when we talk about Ruben and my personal opinion. But anyway, this will happen behind closed doors. When we have something to announce, we will announce about bringing players back. It's not only about the need to bring players back, but also about the possibility. We send them on loan to have a full season. We send them on loan to have a full year. They have a certain role in their clubs, so it's not only about bring them back, and we don't have the possibility also to decide it all alone if we bring players back. And Kennedy is back, and I'm very happy about it. So it's maybe it is a huge opportunity for him to make his mark at this club and in this team. We will try now from today on to push and support him as good as we can.
Is there a need this month to still bring in players, especially at wing back, or is Kennedy that covered now?
No, we cannot say that Kennedy is the solution. He can be a solution, but the situation has not changed. We have long-term injuries on the wing backs, and we suffer a lot now. We suffered a lot in midfield from COVID and injuries. Now that our midfielders are more or less coming back, we suffer a lot with our central defenders. Nothing has changed, but it needs to make sense. It needs to be possible. It needs to make sense on a high level, and also in quality, personality. We have a look into the market. Nothing has changed, and we have all options. Also the option to say no.
In terms of tomorrow's game, Manchester City are just relentless. They just keep on winning. It's hard to see where they're going to drop points. If you lose tomorrow, are your title chances gone?
Maybe. Who knows? The biggest difference so far in the season, as I'm concerned, is that they dealt better with injuries and they dealt better with the COVID situation. Maybe it's unlucky, maybe they do it better, whatever, but they have less injuries from key players, less days out, less weeks where they missed them. They did not suffer from COVID as we did over many weeks. So this is the huge difference, because we had some draws in the season that were unnecessary, and if you have your full squad, you create a certain atmosphere for everybody that pushes everybody to the edge, and you need to be on your edge and in your very highest level if you want to compete with Man City. They are the benchmark. They are the best team in England right now. This is something we have to admit realistically. We don't think a lot in scenarios. What happens if? Let's play the game. I'm always in for a good fight, but I'm also always very realistic. If you look back and then to our last games, when we have our squad, when we feel good, when we're in good shape, we are always up for a good fight with Man City, and we will always dare to push them to the limit and to ask some questions that they don't like maybe to answer. But the situation at the moment is that, as you said, they are very strong, they're very consistent, and they perform on the absolute highest level. So this is it. From here we go.
Yeah. Just one final question from me, Thomas. A more general question. Leicester had a game postponed this week, primarily through injuries and players being at AFCON. There's talk potentially of Arsenal trying to get the North London derby postponed primarily because of injuries and players at AFCON. Do you think that the rules are being abused or bent slightly at the moment? Because the rules are surely in place for COVID situations, not for injuries. That's just hard luck.
I strongly hope that's not the case, because otherwise I would be very, very angry, because we are doing everything to make games happen, and we were made to play when we thought we should maybe not. So I can only strongly hope that the rules are the same rules for everybody. Otherwise, yeah, point.
John South from Five Live.
Hi Thomas, how are you?
Hi, fine.
Good. Would you say Manchester City away is the toughest challenge at the moment in European football? And why?
Yeah, maybe. They are the strongest team in UK. I think that we have the Premier League as the toughest league in Europe, the toughest competition, and they are like on a level of consistency and quality and producing results even when it's getting close, like in the game at Arsenal, for example, turning things around. They are very, very strong. It's a very tough one, yeah.
How much do you enjoy coming up against Pep? You've got the better of him on a number of occasions since you've been at Chelsea. But
yeah.
Is he still the benchmark for managers for what he's achieved in the game?
Yeah, simple. Or short question, short answer. Yes, for me, yes. Everybody can have his own opinion, but look at his records, his track records. Look what he did to all his teams in Barcelona, Munich, and Man City. Look what he did to the clubs, and yeah.
Do you learn from him still?
Top. Every game, I try to learn from everybody, from every opponent, and from analyzing every opponent, and have a lot of respect for of course for Pep. Everybody knows that, but for a lot of other coaches, yeah, I learn from him. I learn from everybody. I learn from the game, from my players. This is what I demand from myself.
You said the main difference this season between the two clubs has been the injuries and COVID. So do you think when you're both at full strength that you've actually really closed that gap now? How much is there between the clubs?
You know, they opened the gap not over the last months. They opened the gap over the last years, and I was never shy to say this, and it's just my opinion. And we tried to close it, and we tried to close it. We were like self-confident enough to say we will try to close it from the first day this season. This is what we did, and we did very good. But don't get me wrong, I want to be very clear about it. I will be absolutely happy with the players who travel with us and who will be on the pitch tomorrow. And we will inject the most confidence that we can have. We will come up with a plan, and we will push and help and support in the best way with genuine belief. But a team is a different team if everybody is available. It's as simple as that. If you have your 2019 player from 23 always and constantly available, because you're always some injuries, some minor injuries, but if you have them, this creates the energy, the atmosphere, and the extra edge that you need if you want to be on the level where Man City is. And we don't have it. It's no excuse. It's just a description and an explanation of the situation in which we find ourselves since the last weeks. We will not stop.
How tough does that make it tomorrow?
Yeah, very tough, even tougher. But does it make it impossible? No, it's football. It's 90 minutes. So for 90 minutes, you can do anything. Anything. You can be brave. You can play with courage. You need a bit of luck, and you need a momentum, and we need on top level. No problem for tomorrow. But in general, it's like this.
Good luck.
Thanks.
James Adventure Talk Sport.
Hi Thomas, what did you learn from the game against Man City at Stamford Bridge earlier this season?
That my approach was the wrong approach tactically. It made us too passive. We could have done better, but I think the approach was too passive and too defensive. It was not meant like this, but it turned out this way. So lesson learned. They were like too aggressive for our build-up play. They were too aggressive. We did not have the solution to escape from their own half. We defended very well in the last 18-20 meters of the field, but we didn't see much of the other 70 meters. Second half was a bit better. It was a bit wild. but it's not the worst thing to have a wild match against Manchester City, and to break out of all the structure and all the controlled situations. So second half was better, and yeah, lesson learned.
When it comes to Man City, you spoke about how they've opened up the gap over the last few years.
Yeah.
But do you see the gap between Man City and Chelsea being a significant one?
Yeah, in the moment it's a significant one. If you look at the table and the points and the consistency, it's a significant one, and we have to prove, we have to prove ourselves that we can step up and close it day in, day out. But we have trust in what we do, and we have trust in our players, and trust in the mentality of our club that we can do it. We have a strong squad. We have belief in what we do, so we will be there. We will be there. But the situation is very particular in which we are trying to do it. As you know, talked many times about the reasons, and without using this as an excuse, it describes the situation, and it is an explanation, and we cannot just look away from it.
You've got 3 wins in a row now, the draw against Liverpool at the start of the year. Do you feel like, with a lot of players returning, the form improving, that you're nearing your highest level? Yeah,
because with every player that we get back experience and alternatives and belief and self-confidence, and we had good results and good performances in the last games, but we are not really, it does not feel like it. From outside it feels like it. We have N'Golo on the bench and available, even playing in the last match. We had Thiago Silva, and of course it is Thiago Silva and it is N'Golo, but they came with they joined the group with 1 training session. This is a little bit the problem, we have a good squad with a fantastic mentality, and still once you're in training, you're in the squad, and we need a bit more of a fight. We need a bit more of a fight to bring out the extra edge. It's like this is what we're missing, not in a bad way, not at all, but it's not enough to find maybe even our 100%. We need to overperform to catch City, to be on top of Premier League. We need to overperform, and to overperform you need simply everybody. That's why, of course, since week we're hoping to get players back. So if you have the news like yesterday evening that Andreas is again out after we waited so long now for him for injury, now he plays so strong, with one of the best players on the pitch, and again he's out. It's a bit what is it, a knockdown, or it's a bit of a setback for everybody, also mentally, because you finally have players back, and it's just like catching a fish.
Okay, last question in the broadcast section. Paul Wellstone, LP.
Thank you very much. Thomas, Pep Guardiola can often spring a surprise with a team selection or formation in the biggest games. And I wonder how much you try to second guess what he might do, or perhaps more, how much you're able and try to tweak things in the hour between getting the team sheets and the game kicking off.
To be honest, I don't expect nothing special tomorrow, because it's a league game. It's not a knockout game. They are comfortable ahead, so I think they will try to be the best version of themselves. And I expect no tactical, nothing new. Just the best of City, and it's enough to deal with.
Fair enough. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, that's the end of the broadcast section. We're now going to move on to the daily newspapers. If you'd like a question, please raise your hand and we'll come round to you.